just putting on a little bit of coloured lip balm to make myself slightly more presentable. So here I am. Let's move this. Move this bloody thing. This light stand is so wonky and wobbly. Hey Tracy, it's so wonky and wobbly. I must get a new one. Okay, it's not really straight, is it? Try that. That'll have to do. Hey John. Right, let me get me old lappy toppy so I can see your comments. Hey Karine, Alicia, Rich Mitch says, yeah, buddy. Let's turn that off. Yeah, buddy. Wow, we've got loads here. I think being late is a good thing. Gives people more time to turn up. So let me see who else is here. So we've got Karine, Rich Mitch, we've got John, Tracy, Mel. Hey Mel. Mel says, it's been so long since I managed to join a live. Yay. My little pussycat's just down there. I don't think she'll come up. She's not really a lap cat, so I don't think I'll be able to get her in. But she's been having a scatty moment running around the house, which is fun. And Scott's here as well. Hey Scott. Drillbit. Hello Drillbit. Right then, I think that's everyone. Oh, Drawn by Sense is here as well. Hey Drawn by Sense. And yes. So right. Oh, woo. Cheers everyone. Thank you for joining. Much appreciated. I've got my vodka and Coke. And let me know what you are all wearing, scent of the night or day or whatever it is, wherever you are. I've been wearing, some segue into the topic of the video. Today I posted a video because today I received this in the post. I received it because I bought it from My Origins, which is a French company, and it's the new Shalimar. It's the Vanilla Planifolia, and this is the one that is limited edition. So I know a lot of people outside of Europe are really struggling to get hold of it. Guerlain ran out very, very quickly. Guerlain weren't very good at letting people know when it was back in stock, so I know a lot of people have been quite disappointed. Cat's on the floor playing with my notepad and pen. Don't get ink on the carpet, sweetie. I can't call her sweetie. It happens every now and then. I'm trying to just call her darling. Well, she's Annie. She's Aniela, but you can't help but call cats by affectionate names, can you? I call my boyfriend Sweetie as well, so it's just everyone gets called Sweetie, but I try not to with Aniela because she's not Sweetie, she's Aniela. Anyway, so yes, this arrived today. I immediately filmed an unboxing and first impressions. If you've seen it, fabulous, you'll already know what I think. If not, then I might just do a quick spray. Let's do a quick spray. I'm going to be spraying a lot of stuff, so we're going to go right up here. So I have the dry down on the back of my hand still. Is a long-lasting fragrance. I'll give you that much information to start with. And let me just quickly read your comments. So I hate looking down at reading. I need a stand for my laptop that's eye level, so I'm not looking at you. Right, so John's wearing La Prima, which is that one from, what are they called? In the blue packaging from the Mask Milano people. And he's also sampling Kyoto. Drawn by is wearing Denim Musk. Don't know that one. But he's got some Shalimar EDT on his right arm. We've got AC in the house. Hey AC. Karine's wearing Spice Must Flow from Etat Libre d'Orange. Timmy's here. Hey Tim. Jacques, Pure Parfum. Wow, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Tim. Everyone sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tim. Happy birthday to you. And Alicia says, just now as you reminded me, oh, Dwell, keep to the vanilla thing. Brilliant. That's another gorgeous, for quite simplistic but very nice clean vanilla, isn't it? I like that one. Milano Fragrance is the one that John's wearing, the company. Seven Virtues Vanilla Woods for AC. So I think they're an American brand from memory. I haven't tried them. And we've got lots of happy birthdays for Tim. So I'm going to spray the vanilla Planifolia right up here. I'm just going to recap a little bit of what I said earlier today. Oh, got a load of frags over there. All vanilla. All vanillic. Yeah, so the vanilla Planifolia, I looked on Fragrantica and it only lists vanilla as a note, which is interesting. I didn't go and look on the Guerlain website, so I don't know what they list there. I know the review that I watch, I've watched a lot, I've watched all the reviews and I've read as many reviews as I can. I've read all the reviews on Fragrantica because I really wasn't going to buy this. I really wasn't. But it was only because, I think it's because Lola fell in love with it. Lola was addicted to it, in fact. If you haven't watched her video, have a look at that. And I watched the, is it Memory Flow review, and it got compared to Bois d'Harmonie. Now some people are comparing it to Spirituous Double Vanille, and I think it's Memory Flow. I linked the video in my last video that I just did today, and he made a few references to Bois d'Harmonie, so that kind of had me thinking, because I've always been meaning, I ran out of I finished my bottle of Bois d'Harmonie a while ago, and I kind of thought, well, I will buy it again at some point if it comes up as a bargain, but I don't need it because I have so many vanillas. And then because he made this reference to Bois d'Harmonie, I thought, oh, I think I might buy it. And then I think Corinne mentioned that it smelled like quite a few of the Latte Matière. It smelled like that line. Hey JC. And that also had me thinking. And then anyway, yeah, read loads of reviews, did all my research, decided to just go for it. And I'm not really getting the Bois d'Harmonie connection. I am definitely getting the Latte Matière line in general, in that it does have that quality vanilla scent to it. So when you first spray it, you can smell the vanilla straight away, and to me it smells like it has a slightly rum note. And I've just been reading about vanilla, and actually the vanilla Planifolia can have a slightly rummy note to it. I've just read that, so it's nice to be validated. And earlier when I can smell it now, actually it does have a slightly lemony, like a rounded lemony scent, but it is not a big kick you in the face harsh citrus at all, not like the original Shalimar, which I really appreciate, because I find that a bit harsh. And then I was getting a little sort of nuance of a subtle leather. I got a touch of something medicinal, which didn't last too long. But really, for me, the fragrance kind of changes after about the half an hour mark. It becomes almost like pure powdery vanilla, and then it just stays that way throughout the rest of the wearing, and it's not finished yet. So yeah, it's been on my skin hours and hours and hours. The only thing is, I do get a bit bored when fragrances don't do much. So my sort of final thoughts, based on one wearing, of course, my final thoughts is I definitely really like it. I think it smells really nice quality. The vanilla does have a sweetness to it, and I was thinking, it almost feels like they've probably put some vanillin in with the natural vanilla, because it's got that kind of rich, sweet vanillin smell. But when I was doing my research, I found out that vanilla Planifolia is the species that has the most vanillin content. So it's possible that they're only using the vanilla Planifolia, or of course they could have added some vanillin. Either way, it's got a more of a sweet, vanilla scent than some natural vanillas that I've tried. So I definitely really do like it, but for me, after about hour 4 or 5, I am going to spray something on top, just because I'm so fickle and I get bored. But it is good. It's a good one. Okay, I'm getting out of breath here. What's going on? Right, let's have a quick... Corinne says, I get some florals in the back, but just like to get a backbone of Shalimar a bit far away. Yeah, I don't really pick up anything floral in it, or I haven't done yet. What's the floral? Is it jasmine that's in Shalimar, the original? I don't really pick up any florals. What was I going to say? I can't remember. I've forgotten. Corinne says, I saw your review comparing Louis to what Darmony back in the time. Yes, that was a while ago, wasn't it? I definitely preferred Bois d'Harmonie. I feel like Louis is a bit two-dimensional, whereas Bois d'Harmonie's got a little bit more going on. Christy's here, and Sherry. Hey Sherry, hey Christy. Right, Corinne says, I think I read somewhere it was ethyl vanillin, vanilla extract and vanilla tincture. So that makes sense. Tracy says, same Claire, lovely bedtime scent, slightly boozy, sweet vanilla on me too. Lizzie Bean is here. Hey Lizzie. Cicely's here. Hey Cicely. She says, Louis is quite smoky, a bit much for me. Yeah, I see what you mean. It's a little bit more on the incense side, whereas Bois d'Harmonie is a little more smooth, a little less smoky, maybe more vanilla. And I think there's some florals in Bois d'Harmonie that kind of like make it a little bit more interesting. But yeah, so Shalimar, I'm not going to keep going on about the Shalimar Vanilla Planifolia, but that's what I think of it at the moment based on just one day. So, you know, take it with a pinch of salt. And then we're going to talk a bit about, let's talk about some facts about vanilla that I found out after I have a sip of my drink. So I've always enjoyed vanilla. It's pretty much in everything I like, bar just a few of citrus freshies, you know, like Renaissance from Xerjoff. Oh, what's that Tom Ford one I like? Venetian Bergamot. That's not got vanilla in it, I don't think. But it's in pretty much everything that I've got. And I wouldn't necessarily say it... I mean, if someone said to me, what's your favourite note ever? I wouldn't necessarily say vanilla, because I think it's almost like I just take it for granted. But I guess it must be, because oftentimes when I describe why I don't like a fragrance, it partly is because it doesn't have vanilla in it, or it's not sweet enough. So I guess based on the fact that my collection is probably 95% got vanilla in it, I guess it is my favourite note, or certainly one of my absolute favourite notes. And but I do think it has to be done in a certain way for my taste, and we've all got our own ways that we like our favourite notes or ingredients to be used. And for me, I do like the vanilla to smell a little more natural, not too sweet, not necessarily too much like cupcake frosting. I like it to be not the main #1 player in the fragrance, or it doesn't matter if it's sort of like level pegging with another note. I love it with white florals. I think with white florals, that's my favourite combination, and I call that a floor monde. So that's my thoughts on vanilla. And I've got done a little bit of Googling, and I've got some information about vanilla, because I've always, as I say, I've always taken it for granted, and I didn't really even understand where it came from. It was one of those things, I know it's a food, you can buy it, you can buy the beans, you can scrape the beans out and put them in food, but I didn't really know properly where vanilla came from. And then you hear it comes from orchid, but orchids are these beautiful flowers, whereas I've never seen an orchid with any vanilla pods hanging off of it or anything like that. So for those of you who don't already know anything about vanilla, it is an orchid, but it's a running orchid or a climbing orchid. So it's almost like grapevines. And the green beans, they're the fruit of the orchid, is these vanilla pods. Cicely says, some vanillas can smell really artificial, as in slightly sickly, plasticky sweet. Yes, I totally agree. Hey Petra, Petra's here. Karine says, for that fragrance, they got a special harvest of bio vanilla pods. So for the vanilla planifolia. Okay. Alejandro Romero, first time tuning in. Hello, Alejandro. What a lovely name. Welcome to the live stream. And Lizzie says, green jumper making your eyes look amazing. Definitely your colour. Thank you, Lizzie Bean. Oh, hang on. We've got so many comments. I'm trying to keep up. Let me scroll up. Mel says, boozy vanilla is my favourite. I can stuck a load of vanilla spiced rum in my Christmas cake. I stuck a load of vanilla spiced rum in my Christmas cake mix. Well, that sounds rather nice. Lizzie says, vanilla has never been my favourite, but I'm definitely on a vanilla kick lately. Queer Beluga, Vanille Fatale, and Gentle Fluidity Gold are my two favourites. There's so many variations. Yeah. Yeah, even if you don't really think you love vanilla, when you actually look at what you have, oftentimes it's the vanilla that really adds something, a bit of depth and sweetness and richness and different nuances. Alejandro says, got my sister Serge Luton's Un Bois Vanille. I need to retry that. It's been a long time. I only tested it in a shop, but I'd like to retry that one. Hillary's here. She says, hey y'all. Hey Hills. Sergio Texiera. If I've got that wrong, I apologise. Says, hi Claire, kisses from Portugal. Hello. Right then, so let me tell you more about vanilla. Vanilla is a spice, and it's the second most expensive spice in the world, just under saffron, because of how labour intensive it is to actually get it. So I also learned that on Madagascar, where quite a lot of vanilla is grown, they don't have the bees to pollinate the orchids, so they actually hand pollinate all of the orchids to get the vanilla on Madagascar island, which is quite fascinating. And what else was I going to say? Right, yeah, I told you about the Planifolia. That has, so Planifolia variety has more vanillin in it, so it's going to smell more like your traditional sort of like typical vanilla that you are used to, like just handmade, what would you call it, synthetic vanillin, which smells good. There's nothing wrong with vanillin, but the thing with vanillin is it is just one thing, I guess it's one molecule. I think I could be wrong, but with a vanilla, with a real natural vanilla, you get I think it's something like 150 to 200 different olfactive ingredients or elements to it. I'm not a scientist, so I'm just paraphrasing shit that I read online, but basically a natural vanilla is going to have a much more complex smell. And also bearing in mind you've got different species, and then they can be in different climates and different territories, and that can add to the nuances in how they smell as well. So it's really probably much more interesting to smell real vanilla than it is to smell vanillin. And then I learned that Tahitian vanilla has a more fruity and a floral tone and less of the vanillin in it. So I think I do prefer, I'm thinking of the Vanille de Tahiti from Perris Montecarlo, which is probably the next perfume I'm going to buy. And I loved that one. I mean, obviously it had other things in it. It had the Ylang and I don't know, was it card? I can't remember what's in there, but that I really love the texture of that, the richness, the different nuances to it. It was amazing. So I'm totally going to buy that. Right, so the other thing I've written down is that vanilla started its life in Mexico. That was the first time, I think, or the first that we're aware of, was the Mexican people. I've forgotten the name of the people back in those days, not the Aztecs. I think it was before then. They used it in making of their chocolate and their chocolate drinks. And then there's a lot of history about how it moved from how it moved around the world, where people invaded. So Mexico got invaded, and then those people then passed it on to different people. So there's quite a lot of history with vanilla. It's very easy to look it up if you're interested. I'm not going to go on about it too much. I think we're all mostly interested in how it smells. So that is my notes on vanilla. Nisky Pisky says, hi Claire, how's the Kit Kat? Vanilla is probably my favourite vanilla. The Kit Kat is doing well. She's just down here by my feet. She definitely likes company, and she's had a little bit of a funny spell running around the house, which was quite cute. She's settling in really well. She doesn't really like to be overcrowded, so if I try and cuddle her, like I'll leave her on the seat, but if I try and cuddle her like that, she'll run away. But she loves the fuss. She likes attention. She'll come to me for attention, but she's just not one to be. She doesn't like you to be in her space too much. I think she's got to be in charge, which is fine. Petra says, I'm not huge on vanilla in perfume. I love real vanilla in baking though. I own Vanilla Tonkin, which was a freebie with a purchase on Nikolai. I say Vanilla for Nikolai. And I have Vanilla Flash and Nice Tobacco Rose like vanilla. Yes, I used to have, I had Vanilla Flash, and yeah, that was really nice. That rich tobacco made it really interesting. It was a bit, I think in the end it was a bit too rich for me, and I do think I get that with tobacco generally in perfume. That's from the Towerville line. I don't know if he still does those. I don't think he does. John says, someone please give lovely Madagascar some bees. Imagine the honey from vanilla orchids. I'm guessing there's a reason why they haven't put bees over there, because I know bees do get put in places specifically to pollinate. So the fact that that hasn't happened yet suggests to me that maybe it wouldn't work, or because obviously Madagascar's got crazy animals, isn't it? I don't know, like, it's got the weirdest animals that you don't get anywhere else. So I'm sure there's a reason why that's not happened. But yeah, it is. I was thinking that today. Cicely says, one of my favourite vanillas is Mono de Oreos Vanille. I tried that one years ago, and at the time my taste went really sweet, and to me it wasn't what I expected. It wasn't particularly sweet. It's a bit more smoky. I'm sure if I tried it again, my tastes have definitely changed in terms of how much sweetness I want, and my sweetness requirements have gone down, so you never know. Mel says, I have to admit I never knew vanilla came from orchids. Well, no, I didn't. Then I heard about it, and then I was like, I didn't quite, still didn't really get it. I didn't understand it. Karine says it's getting more and more expensive. When I was a kid, we used to buy vanilla pods to cook or put in hot milk. Now when I see the price, yeah, it is. It's, well, yeah, second expensive spice in the world. Just reading your comments, sorry. Are we all foodies too, says Mel. I have a feeling we probably are to some degree. I'm a little bit of a heathen, but I like nice, good quality food. But I also like beige food that's crunchy. So Tim says vanillin, as opposed to true vanilla, started to be made from the waste from paper industry in the 30s. Real vanilla is so delicious. I have a whole vanilla pod in a jar. Very nice. Yeah, because paper does smell vanillic, doesn't it? Cherie's here. She's, hey, oh, about to start driving, so we'll just be listening. Hey, Cherie, good to have you. Nisky Pisky just bought tobacco vanille, only got the 10ml. I like it, but it seems very, very sweet. I think it's the dried fruits in tobacco vanille as well as the tobacco that just make it all a bit too much for me. Maybe I could handle it without the dried fruits, or maybe, no, because I'm not a massive fan of dried fruits anyway. Seems all the great materials come from Madagascar. Bourbon, vanilla, light cheese, Ylang, definitely more, but I've gone blank. Trying to think what those animals are that they're only on Madagascar. Ylang comes also from Comores. Yeah, it says Karine. And Karine says, it's crazy that Madagascar is so poor when you see all the expensive natural resources they have. I guess they must be being somewhat exploited. I'm not political, don't know, but I'm just wondering. Drawn by Scent says, I like vanilla with ambers and soft woods, can be cozy for this time of the year, definitely. Cicely says, Vanille Fatale is a good one. I used to find it too strong, not anymore. It's a really nice one. I mean, the first time I smelt it, I kind of wrote it off as a bit boring, a bit too sweet. But actually, when I tried it again, I compared it with a dupe for it and did a video, and it was really, really nice. Drillbit says Limassol. Limassol. Limassol, that's in Cyprus, isn't it? Limassol, is that the animal? No, not dodos, although they might have been. No, they're still there now. Might begin with an M, and it might be like little monkey type things. But I could just be talking utter rubbish. Do you know, Madagascar's always been on my list of places I would absolutely love to visit, but it's not like it's got a tourist industry. You know, I don't think you can just book a hotel, and I don't think you can get a direct flight. It's kind of difficult to get there. I think you can get a ferry from, is it Mozambique? What's the country just, so you got Madagascar there, and there's like a big, is that Africa? And I think you've got Mozambique. And I think you can go from Mozambique on a ferry to Madagascar, because I do fantasy travelling quite a lot. It might be lemurs. Yes, Petra, I'm thinking of lemurs. Whether they are only on Madagascar, I'm not sure, but yes, it is lemurs. Lemurs, yes, and that's what Drillbit's saying. But Drillbit's got his own spelling. Lily's here. Hey, Lily. Right, let's have a little swiggy, and then we're going to talk. I've got about 10 perfumes here, and they've all got a fair old dollop of vanilla in them. So Beau is not the best there. Okay, so you, Corinne, have you been, or how? Tell me how you know this stuff. So let's start with this one here. This is called the Sexiest Scent on the Planet Ever, IMHO, from 4160 Tuesdays. This is vanillin in here. Sarah McCartney's very, very honest when she talks about her materials, ingredients, notes in perfumery. She's actually shared the formula for this on numerous occasions. So very, very transparent. This one is vanillin. It's got some Isoe Super, some bergamot, and something else. Official, I think the notes say official. Fragrantica notes are not official notes, but I've gone to Fragrantica for this, and I will tell you what we have. So this is my special bottle. This is the one that I had to remember sweet. I had made to remember sweetie by. So this has got pear, iris, and violet added into it, and I didn't write it down after all. That's because I know that I remember it. But the notes are like cedar, vanilla, bergamot, can't remember. But basically, where did I put it there? It's a very soft, woody vanilla, but when it opens up, it's got sort of like a lemony sharpness to it. It's a little bit fizzy, but this one, of course, has got the extra iris, violet, and pear. So I get that more on the top notes, which of course is amazing. So that is for 160 Tuesday, sexiest scent on the planet ever. I think it's got a fair amount of vanillin in it, which of course means you get to smell lots of lovely vanilla. Ava, hello Ava. Hi, all. I enjoy vanillas. In the past few years, recently managed to get a great vanilla scent, Fleur de Bengal from Laskendu. Are you familiar with it? If not, I'd recommend it. I think I might have reviewed that from a sample, but we're going back a long time, and I do remember it was nice. I think I got a sample. When did I get a sample? Something's telling me Excellence, but I think it was probably 2 or 3 years ago. Mel says sexy scent is great. I bought the DIY kit to play with. Lasts so long when I wear it. Yeah, it's really long lasting. Lisa's here. She says hi all. Hi Lisa. Tim says I'd love to one day go to Madagascar. It's a wildlife paradise. Yes, definitely. Okay, right, so I have now got my notes and we're going to talk perfume. So we've done the Planifolia, so we'll put that one over here out of the way. So what I applied on top of my vanilla Planifolia when I started to get bored was another very strong vanilla scent, and that is Oriana. So Oriana does not have a vanilla note listed, but it has definitely got lots of vanilla in it, and I think when you read marshmallow as a note, you can't really make a marshmallow note without vanilla. So Oriana has mandarin, grapefruit, bergamot, so you get a little bit of freshness from that in the opening. You got a lovely orange blossom with raspberry and blackcurrant, and then marshmallow, whipped cream, musk and ambrette. So basically what you see with the note listing, you really do get, except I don't get as much fruitiness as I thought I might. So you got raspberry and blackcurrant. I think you get a subtle fruity nuance, but not so much. It's more about the orange blossom, and then really a really lovely musky, powdery, clean vanilla, which gives you obviously that kind of like marshmallow feel. Like you can smell the texture of the outside of a marshmallow, that powdery, soft, fluffy marshmallow mixed in with an orange blossom that is not as rich as it is in Love Don't Be Shy. So really love that, and never really thought I'd be holding a Parfums de Marly bottle and saying I really love it. So yeah, who knew? But this is getting, I don't know if I can see how much dent I've put in it. It's about to here, so I have been reaching for this a lot, most days pretty much. I even got a compliment on it a couple of days ago, and I bumped into a friend on the Co-op forecourt when I went to get some bits, and she put a little thing on Facebook later saying that I smelt lovely, which was very sweet. I wonder if you can see her. What are you doing? What are you doing, Annie? What's this? What are you doing? She just ignores me all the time. Annie, what are you doing? she's gone. I don't know why I have, well, I do know why I have a big picture of goldfish over there up the wrong way. Don't judge me, I'm waiting for my mum to come and put it up for me. Right, just have a quick look. I've just messed up the angle now. Lizzie says, I'm not very worldly wise. I picture Madagascar looking like animation. Tim says, lovely to see you. I'm off for a few drinks. Bye, Tim. Enjoy the rest of your birthday. Oh, we've got Yara and Carty here. Hello. And Nisky Pisky says, love, don't be shy is a new love for me. It is really nice. It was just a touch too rich for me. How has Scott got a hippo? How have you got that hippo, Scott? It must be something to do with your phone that you're using or your keyboard. Oh, John's got one as well. John's got a hippo now. Okay, I don't think I've got a hippo, but to be honest, I haven't looked lately. Richie's given us gorillas. Drillbit's got a horse, of course. Don't like to be ignored, so cats won't work. And John's got a tiger. Okay, let's see. Try and find the craziest animal emoji on your phone or device and drop it in the chat. So let's move on then to more perfumes with vanilla in them. Yeah, Lizzie, I did read about the Pompona vanilla, but everything I found was kind of in the companies that sell vanilla beans doing a blog or a write-up about it, and I wasn't too sure if it's used. It was more about food, I think. More they were selling them for food, so I wasn't sure if it's actually used for scent. But yeah, you are right. It's a Pompona is another species of vanilla that I've never heard of in terms of perfumery. Right, so the next vanilla scent that I want to talk about is one that I absolutely love, and it's called Ylang Ylang Nosy Bee, but it's actually, I think the vanilla is probably the reason why I love this so much. And it's amazing. That takes me back to my holiday. That's so nice. So the official notes are lemon, mint, ylang, rose, jasmine, vanilla, musk, cardamom. I've never really been able to pick out anything much more than the ylang and the vanilla, although it is very, very nuanced. There's lots going on. It certainly has some fruity elements to it. It's got different textures. It's got like powderiness, but it's also quite rich. But it's so exotic. Oh, I love it. Oh, I want to spray it. Let's go. I'm going to go over the top of the vanilla Planifolia now. I really love this so much. Ava says, Claire, does Ylang Ylang smell like bananas? Ylang Ylang does get compared to having a sort of a banana-y scent, but don't expect it to smell like a actual banana. I'd say it has a slightly fruity scent, almost like it's almost like, I guess if you took jasmine and then you mixed in essence of banana, but just a teaspoon into half a cup of jasmine, and it would give it a slightly banana-y fruity nuance without it smelling like a bunch of bananas, if that makes any sort of sense. Ylang Ylang is an exotic, rich, heady floral. But I would recommend, you can very easily get some Ylang Ylang essential oil, and it's very cheap. So you could probably find it in a store that sells like supplements, like here in the UK, Holland and Barrett. You can definitely get Ylang Ylang oil. or you can get it online, of course, or the, you know, those shops that sell incense and things like, and incense and essential oils, you can get it there. I'd recommend just getting it to smell it on its own, and then you'll kind of get more of an understanding. Oh, love it, love it. So many animals. I've got a bat from Sicily. John's given us a skunk, a seal, a snail. I don't know, buffalo, is that? Tracy's, we've got Tracy's given us a dinosaur, a peacock, a unicorn, and I think that's an octopus. Oh, and some things I can't even see what they are. Is that an alpaca? I think we have an alpaca there. Oh, that's a lemur, isn't it? From Lizzie. Oh no, a sloth. That's a sloth. Ivor says, I often perceive ylang as closely related to the banana smell. Yeah, you definitely do get a lot of people that say that. Channel 69 is here. Hello. Lizzie says, I'm so glad I have Ylang Ylang Nosy Bee. Thanks to Tracy and Claire for enabling me to have this one. It's a very special scent. Yeah, I'm just crazy about it. Absolutely love it. Liz says, to me it smells like creamy, slightly sour floral banana fragrance with a hint of something dark and classy. And Cicely says, Goutal's Songs smells like banana to me. Is that Songs, is that a tiara flower or a frangipani? I remember trying that years ago. Very heady floral. Right, let's move on to the next vanilla because we're not going to get anywhere fast. We'll go for another Guerlain, and I've got the travel spray here, and this is my Le Plus Beau Jour de ma vie. This is so special. Oh my god, this is so special. I really love this. If you said to me top 10 for life, pretty much any time. Obviously these change all the time in your head, don't they? But I think anytime I did a top 10 for life, that really would be in it. So that really would be top 10 for life. I've got the note, I'll give you the note listing. So Le Plus Beau Jour de ma vie from Guerlain is in their upper, it's not La Ematière, it's, I think it's standalone really. And it's got angelica, pink pepper, citruses, candy almond, orange blossom, rose, vanilla, incense, milk, musk, and patchouli. And all of those notes, apart from the patchouli, I really kind of do get. So I think the note listing really does tell you what you're going to get, but really the main note in the dry down is this vanilla, and it is a gorgeous vanilla. I do not believe it's just vanillin. I think there's probably some natural vanilla in there, and it kind of mingles with the clean musk, and it's lovely and powdery. But the opening with this gorgeous kind of like the almond, the candied almond note, and I also get a little hint of pastis or a licorice type note right in the beginning. Doesn't last too long, but it just makes it a bit more interesting and fun to start with. It is perfection. This is me bottled, really. Not really, because that would be very self-centered, because to me this is just stunning. But this is everything I love combined to perfection, and just at the right doses. Everything's dosed to my liking. I just love it, and it's long lasting, and it's just so special. It's more orange blossom than it is rose in terms of the florals, but it's almost like it's like a more complex Oriana, really. It's a better version of Oriana. But yeah, that's Le Plus Beau Jour de ma vie. Absolutely love it. Corinne says that Le Plus Beau du Jour and Le Bouquet de la Mariée are a kind of a special wedding collection. Okay, I've tried both side by side. The Bouquet de la Mariée is the extract version of Le Plus Beau Jour, and the sales assistant said to me in I can't remember which one it was, Champs-Élysées or Place Vendôme. She said they are pretty much the same, just that the extract lasts longer. And I really couldn't tell any difference, apart from that the bottle's amazing for the Bouquet de la Mariée. The price difference is pretty strong, so I'm really happy with Le Plus Beau Jour de ma vie. Cicely says that one is beautiful. Got it, thanks to Claire. Oh, really? John says a Bouquet de la Mariée is absolutely chuffing gorgeous, but I'd need to sell your grandma to afford that. Well, if you sell my grandma, John, you're basically just selling dust. So I don't think you'll get enough for even a cheap bottle of perfume. Karine says it's discontinued. Oh, is Le Plus Beau Jour de ma vie still available? Because I'm kind of thinking I might fill up my B bottle. I've got a B bottle of it, and I might have to refill it at some point. Right, let's have another little drink and then we'll move on to the next frag. So I've got 40 people watching and 15 likes. Something's not adding up here. Right, so next up then I've got two from Teone Reinthal. And you can probably guess at least what one of them is. And of course, it's my beloved Embers. So what can I tell you about the vanilla in here is very, 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 very special. It's a vanilla bean tincture from some vanilla beans that were given to Teone, and they're from Papua New Guinea. And there is something, I mean, obviously it's a combination of different things. You've got real Mysore sandalwood in here, which is again a really special ingredient, along with these magic beans, and that's what Teone calls them as well. Magic beans is vanilla bean tincture, and there's a little bit of rose. I think there's some, I'm not sure if it's benzoin, it's some resins. It's definitely a sweet fragrance. It has a little spiciness to it. I don't know if there's actual spice in here or if it's the sandalwood that's giving it the spice. It's got a texture almost like honeycomb, and sometimes it smells a little bit like suede-like, but it's different depending when you wear it, the climate. You can get different nuances from it, and it is really all about the two superstar ingredients of Mysore sandalwood, which of course is creamy and sweet and rich, and I think gives it a spiciness. And then you have these magic beans from Papua New Guinea. Like, how amazing does that even sound? It's like, it's kind of like Madagascar, isn't it? It's like, or Timbuktu, like this place that I don't even know how I would get there, what this country is like. In fact, I'm gonna do some investigation. But the vanilla is creamy and really smooth, and I get a slight almond like nuance to the perfume. Whether that comes with the vanilla or not, I don't know. This is really the epitome, for me, the perfect vanilla scent. So you can't get it, I'm afraid, anymore. I'm sure there'll be more batches in the future, but for now you can't. Actually, I think I saw Teone said she might have sent some Embers, the final bits of what she had left of Embers, off to a retailer. So if you check the Teone Reinthal Instagram, and it would have been a post in the last couple of weeks, she talked about the last remaining batches of certain things going off to different retailers, so you might be able to get it, but not directly from Teone, who I think is actually taking a little break at the moment while she upsticks and moves house and business. So you can't order directly from the website at the moment anyway, but Embers is very, very special in my opinion. Right, let's have a little look at your comments. Corinne says she prefers Mon Precious Nectar to Le Plus Beau Jour de ma Vie. I would choose Le Plus Beau Jour de ma Vie over it, but I think it's because I had Mon Precious Nectar for quite a few years, and maybe you know, it just became less special to me. I've still got a travel size of it though. Right, Le Plus Beau Jour de ma Vie should still be available, but I haven't seen it on their website since they reorganised their fragrance range. Okay, I have a feeling I should be able to refill it in France, I think, hopefully. Cicely says Ember smells of roses, creamy woods, and vanilla all at once. It's really unique. Yeah, it is. It's unique. Yes. Lizzie says they told me some fragrances should still be available in the B bottle, but only be at the boutique. You might be able to call the boutique, Lizzie, if you know, as and when you are looking to buy Le Plus Beau Jour de ma Vie, you might be able to call the boutique and get them to ship it to you. I think they do that with some. I don't let you do it. They didn't let you do it with Iris Ganache, but that was a limited stock. But you might find that they will. But I feel like I need to go to Paris quite soon. So I just have to wait till I'm allowed to travel. I don't want to get into that, but I should be allowed to travel by January, and then I think I need to go to Paris. So if you want me to get you a bottle, Lizzie Bean, mind you saying that, no, it's not going to work because I'll be hand luggage only. So that's not going to work, sorry. Have I smelled rose embers? Yes, Cicely, I have. I have a bottle over there. I don't know if have you tried it. For me, it is a combination of some of embers, so that, like the vanilla, the smoothness, the sandalwood, and then it's like a fresh kind of sharpish rose accord, and something slightly animalic, which I guess is just a byproduct of how it all reacts together, but almost like you know that the diaper smell in Jacques, a slightly puppy nappy kind of scent that you get from Guerlain's Jacques. I get something similar in Rose Embers. It's really unusual. It doesn't sort of hang around forever, but it's really unusual. I can't really account for it in the note listing, so it must just be the way it reacts. Might just be on my skin. Right, let's have a little swiggy swig, and we've got more perfumes to smell. I got another. Guess what the next Teone perfume is going to be? Have a guess. Just reorganise my perfumes. So we are talking vanilla, of course. What might I be? What might my last Teone Reinthal perfume be? If we're talking vanilla. I don't have the right chat. I need to have a live chat. Sweetie. No, I didn't do that. Just, that's not, I didn't even think of that actually, but it doesn't have loads of vanilla in it. It definitely does have vanilla in it, but Corinne's got it right. It is Jacques. So Jacques is a all natural, inspired by Shalimar. So Teone was talking to Nick Hill from Exotic Scents, and Nick Hill challenged Teone to make a version of Shalimar, but obviously with just naturals. Initially Teone was a little bit against the idea because she doesn't do inspired perfumes, but then if you go on her website you can read the story of how she was in her a room and suddenly I guess inspiration hit, and it was like she was suddenly taken back in time, and she could see a portrait of Guerlain on the wall, and so it just suddenly kind of happened for her, and then she created Jacques, and the note listing is out of this world. Lemon, bergamot, rose, jasmine, orris, benzoin, Vietnamese oud and vanilla. Don't be frightened of the oud. I've never ever picked it up. In fact, I didn't even know it was in here. Never picked up anything animalic in here at all. I'm going to spray it on my skin. And I think if you love the Guerlain Shalimar Vanilla Planifolia, then you're going to love this even more, in my opinion. Although this does have a touch more citrus, it's got a slightly more noticeable citrus. It's still not the harsh citrus kick you in the face of the original Shalimar. So you do smell the citrus, but you smell, and it doesn't specify what vanilla Teone has used in here, but it does remind me of the vanilla in Embers. So it does remind me of the Special Magic vanilla beans. It's so smooth and almost has like an almond hint to it. And you have this powderiness, and you can smell the jasmine, but it's not overtaking anything. Corinne says, oh my, I'm so curious about trying Jacques. It's everything you might imagine it to be. From the note listing, it is perfection. It's got a little sharpness to it. As I say, you can smell the lemon, you can smell the jasmine, but you can also smell the smooth sweetness and sort of like a slight powderiness. Yeah, creamy. It's creamy and powdery together. It is absolutely beautiful. And the orris, you can smell a little bit of the orris. It's not like a really strong orris note, but you can smell a little bit of the orris. It is so good. Every time I smell it, I think to myself, why am I not wearing this more often? But you can see I've made a fair dent. So yeah, I mean, if you said you can keep this or the Shalimar Vanilla Planifolia, there's no contest. It would be this for me, because it's just so much more interesting. And yeah, well, I guess I'm a natural. I do love the naturals, but yeah, you can smell it. It smells like a Shalimar type perfume. It is, you know, but it's made of just natural, beautiful materials. It's so good. Right, next up then, I've only got 2 more left. So I have this because of Lizzie Bean. I don't wear it that much. When I first got it, I was obsessed. It's Whispers in the Library. I was absolutely obsessed with it. Where are we going to go? Let's go up here. And when I do smell it, when I do wear it, it's another one I think, this is so good, why don't you wear it more often? But it's a richer perfume, and I don't tend to be wearing a lot of rich perfumes these days. They're all kind of remaining a little bit on the light side. And it's not too rich, it's not cloying, it's not you know, it's not too sweet. Right, let's read you the notes. Whispers. According to Fragrantica, vanilla, woody notes, pepper and cedar. That is it. Vanilla, woody notes, pepper, cedar. And Lizzie says, I've just started wearing that one again. It is really good. Yes, it's like wood and paper, which I guess your library would be if you've got wooden shelves, and then paper books. A little bit spicy, and yeah, then it dries down to a beautiful vanilla, and the vanilla reminds me of the dry down of Iris Ganache from Guerlain. So it doesn't smell like just a dollop of vanillin to me. It smells like a really nuanced vanilla, a really nice, not too sweet vanilla. Maybe it's to do with the woody notes and the pepper that just make it all kind of work with that vanilla spice. I don't know, but the vanilla is so good in Whispers in the Library. And Corinne says it's quite comfy. It's definitely comfy, and Liz says it sits light on me, but I love the dark edge it has. Definitely something white chocolate about the dry down. Only a hint, but something. Yes, definitely. Iris Ganache has a white chocolate note as well, so maybe that's what that is. But and some people say it doesn't last on them, or it's not very strong. But for me, it's 10 hours plus with a noticeable projection. So performance is really good. Yeah, and it's not heavy. Maybe it's just because it's a little spicy and woody, and there's no florals. Maybe that's why I don't reach for it, because there's no florals in it. I'm not really sure, but it is so good. I'm going to try and wear it more often because it is so good. But Jacques is amazing. But Jacques, I'm not comparing them. They're totally different perfumes. Dollop, word of the video. Dollop of vanilla. Right, then we have one more left. Put the lid on properly. And it is Ruby Kona. This is probably the less obvious choice for a vanilla video, but there is a lot of vanilla in here. It's just not too obvious from the start. Ruby Kona from PureDistance, and I'm going to spray this on me as well. Maybe I'll just spray it on top of Oriana. Why not? A little bit there. So Ruby Kona, first time I smelled it, wasn't that mad keen on it. The lovely Irma from, you probably all know her on Instagram, L'amour de Parfums. She has a beautiful, beautiful Instagram account. And she sent me a sample of it, and she was really loving it. And then I smelt it and I was like, I'm not sure, there's something about this I'm not loving. And it might have been the amount of patchouli in here that I wasn't getting on with, but I couldn't really pinpoint it. And so I put the sample away and I forgot about it for ages. And for some reason, something inspired me to try it again. Can't remember what, whether it was a mention of it on someone's Instagram, or just, I don't really know what made me try it again. Might have seen a review for it somewhere. And then when I tried it again, I fell for it massively. But I'd still sort of thought, no, I'm not going to pay that for it though. Like, I really like this, but I'm not going to pay that price. And then Sam came round and I said, smell this. And I was about to start moaning about how expensive it was. And he was like, oh my God, I love it. And he had such, he probably didn't say those exact words, but his reaction to it was so strong and so positive that it just reinforced that I wanted it. You know what it's like. I will talk about how it smells in a minute. I'll give you the notes. Here we are. Mandarin, grapefruit, bergamot, orange blossom, ylang ylang, iris, clove, rose, patchouli, musk, solar notes, vanilla, cedar. This, out of all the notes I've given you today, Ruby Kona is the one that you just really wouldn't know how it smells from reading the notes at all. Ruby Kona is very difficult to pick apart, to explain, to review. which is why I haven't got around to it myself, because I don't really pick up on many of those notes. I definitely get the patchouli and the vanilla, and I can understand the iris and the musk giving it this lovely texture. Solar notes, Ylang, not really. It's a bit spicy, so clove, yes, but and then of course the rose, you can smell the rose blended in there. But yeah, so the note listing does not tell you what to expect. It's quite a rich perfume, actually. I was just saying I'm not wearing many rich perfumes. If I do want to wear something special and rich, then it's Ruby Kona. And I don't really get the citruses in here at all. And what do I get? So it's kind of really smooth patchouli. So it's not like your earthy patchouli. It doesn't smell like soil, doesn't smell like hippies. It's very smooth, quite clean patchouli, blended with some rose, and it's musky and powdery, and then it changes, and when the vanilla starts coming out, it blends with everything else, the vanilla. So you never really smell anything in isolation in this perfume. Like, say, Le Plus Beau Jour de ma vie, I really smell a lot of vanilla as a clear note once it gets into its development. With Rubikona, nothing ever stands out clear. Everything's kind of like latching on to the other notes and mingling. So there's nothing really ringing out true, but it's also not, it's not like it's muddy, and it's not like it's a linear mix of all the notes all at once. It's just very difficult to kind of really pick it apart and say what's going on here. It's just this rich but vibrant. There is a vibrancy to it. There is a sparkle to it, but you don't really pick out specifically citruses to do that. You just feel this texture, this lightness, and then it gets kind of like richer, and it's almost chocolatey but not, and then it's just the vanilla. But the vanilla, as I say, I wouldn't tell you whether I could smell vanilla or whether it smells like it's a natural vanilla, because it's never just vanilla on its own that I can smell. It's mixed in with all these other things, with the florals and the patchouli and musk and iris, and so I would just really have a hard time describing the vanilla note, except to say that it's exceptional. It's so good when that happens, when it becomes more vanillic. It is so good. It is so addictive. So when I first spray it, I'm not in love. I have to give it half an hour to an hour, and then that vanilla starts coming out, and I think the patchouli winds down a little bit. I think the patchouli calms down, and then I'm in love. And it is so good that to me it is worth the high price. Really, really love Ruby Kona. Right then, let's have a little look. Mel says I should dig out my tiny sample of that again. Yeah, give it another go, Mel. If you didn't like it straight away, it's worth, you never know. You probably don't want to fall in love with it, to be fair. But I think it's worth another go. I tried it in different, I think the seasons had changed as well. Whether that had any effect or not, I don't know. John says, don't hate me, Claire. This was okay. Say it how it is, John. If you hated it, you hated it. I can't see, out of everything I've talked about today, I would say Rubikona would be the most polarizing. And if someone said, I'm thinking of blind buying Rubikona, I would say do not do that, because it's really unusual and it's definitely not for everyone. So I'm never gonna I'm never gonna be annoyed with someone because they don't love it. I mean, I didn't love it to start with. It's totally a very unusual polarizing type scent, I think. Liz says, so glad Sam is getting the perfume bug. Hopefully he'll take you to Paris and treat you. That would be nice. I hope he watches this. John's just saying it's a Cecile Zarokian creation, the Ruby Kona. Yep, that's true. And Petra's really tired. Early starts for me. Good night all. Night Petra, thanks for joining in. Mel's saying good night to everyone. Bedtime. Good night, Mel. Yeah, I'll be stopping in a moment anyway because we've done the last perfume. Lizzie says vanilla diorama surprised me. Wasn't expecting to love it as much as I do, though. I think it should be called tonka diorama. Definitely more tonka than vanilla to me. Yeah, that one for me was a bit too. I don't. Maybe it was tonka. I can't remember, but yeah, it wasn't quite for me. And then the vanilla in the dry down was very much that sweet, similar to the. I'm guessing it's another vanilla Planifolia / vanillin accord, because it was quite a sweet yet powdery vanilla, and I think it was just a bit too much on the vanilla for me. Corinne says I didn't fall in love with vanilla diorama. I was a bit disappointed, wanted to love it. In the end I prefer Shalimar Planifolia. Yeah, I'm with you, Corinne. Drawn by says happy to spend pennies on nice perfumes. Yes, I think we all are, aren't we? John says regarding Ruby Kona, yeah, I'd probably not go buy a bottle. It wasn't awful though. It wasn't awful. I really want to try their new one, PureDistance 12. That one sounds really good, although it does list ambroxan. So depends if I can pick up on the ambroxan or not. 'Cause I've never paid £200-300 for a bottle of perfume if I can smell ambroxan in it. It's not going to happen. So yeah, I think I am done. Thank you all so much. Cheers to you for joining. Cheers, clink clink. It's time to chill, and I'll catch you all very, very soon. Scott says another wonderful live, Claire. Thank you. Good night all. Corinne says another good vanilla for me is Vanilla Planifolia by Chloe. Much sweeter and more floral than Shalimar Vanilla Planifolia, but a nice no-brainer, good quality Quentin Bish creation. I've been curious about that one. Someone was selling a second-hand bottle really cheap on a group, but I stopped myself because if it's just mostly vanilla, I don't need it. I tried to stop buying vanilla heavy scents a long time ago because I just have so many. Well, you've just seen 10 amazing vanillas. I could happily wear every one of these every day. I mean, they are so beautiful. I don't need any more vanilla perfumes, but you know, I know I need that I need that Vanille Tahiti from Perris. I do need that, but I'm going to try and sell a few things first because I'm a bit overwhelmed by how many perfumes I have at the moment. Ava says thank you, Claire. Bye all. Bye, Ava. Thank you for joining in. John's saying good night to everyone. Tracy's saying take care, everyone. And Lizzie Bean says cheers, Claire. Okay, that's it now. Bye.